Of Johannesburg has unveiled its new electric vehicle buses as part of the university's efforts to reduce carbon emissions. The EV buses are already ferrying students between various campuses. For more on this, I'm joined by Professor Letlhokwa Mpedi, Vice-Chancellor and Principal. Professor Mpedi, very good afternoon. Appreciate you coming on to the show. Great milestone for you. Talk to us about these buses and the impact that they're making, not just on the environment, but obviously on the university.
Good afternoon, Hugo. Thanks for having me. Good afternoon also to your viewers. Yes, this is really an amazing project for the University of Johannesburg. And I'm saying amazing in the sense that it's good for our revenue in terms of savings, but also good for the environment. As you have rightly pointed out, this is a first for a university. And we hope others will follow in our footsteps and do it not only to save funds, but also for the environment. For example, in terms of environmental, friendliness of these buses, per year, per bus, we reduce CO2 by 33,000 kilograms. This is just amazing. And financially, per bus, we get a saving per annum of 400,000 rands. And if I throw in savings in terms of costs, for maintenance, there we save around 35,000 rands per annum. This is a good deal for our resources and financial and environmental.
Well, talk to us about the process of getting these buses. I mean, it started a little over 18 months ago to get to where you actually have the buses on campus.
Yeah, that's correct. Remember, we needed to test and see if these buses can really do what they need to do, serve our purpose. I mean, we have read about interesting stories elsewhere where buses couldn't climb hills. So we needed to make sure that our buses can climb hills. They've got the right torque and they can, do our routes. So there was a lot of testing that was done. And later on, we had a pilot stage where we got 2 buses from the assembler to ferry our students around and to see how these buses perform. And we're really satisfied with how these buses performed. And this resulted with us now taking 2 of our own UJ buses.
So you've got 2 buses at the moment. Is that the ultimate number, or do you expect a few more buses to come through? I'd imagine so, because you are also saving money in the process, aren't you?
Definitely, we are saving money. The plan is to increase this fleet of electric vehicle buses over time, resources permitting. And at the moment, we have 15 buses, 2 electric and 13 internal combustion engine buses. Obviously, these 2 electric vehicle buses displaced 2 internal combustion engine buses. We want to progressively take out this internal combustion buses. So over time, it would be the long-term plan, let me put it this way, is to have an all-electric fleet of buses.
Let's talk about the efficiency of the buses. Now, I raise this issue because they're obviously charged on Eskom, which always isn't available. Has this proved to be an issue at the moment? Is it something you envision as causing problems with the efficiency of the buses?
Not at all. Remember, 15% of our energy at UJ comes from solar. We've got 4 solar PV plants at UJ, at 4 of our campuses. So it's not a problem at all. And the long-term plan, as we increase these buses, is also to increase our solar energy capacity and increase it. The aim is at least to take it up to 30%. Remember, we work with limited resources. But with these projects at UJ, we want to say to the world that, guys, we should not sit down and say we have these problems, therefore we should not do anything. We say we can achieve a lot by doing things progressively, step by step, small, and eventually we'll get to where we want. So at the moment, to answer you, 15% of our energy comes from solar. And I can promise you, you won't see one of our buses stuck because it ran out of juice.
Now, talk to us about the reaction that you've received, certainly from some of your colleagues and the learners or the students at UJ.
Yeah, it has been amazing. I mean, personally, I was on one of these type of buses abroad, but to ride in one of these in South Africa at our university, it was just amazing. The feedback has been amazing for staff. We took the executive leadership group of the university to a meeting, and we're cruising along, silently. It's something that we need to get used to, especially also for pedestrians that just cross roads, because you worry whether they will hear the bus coming. So the feedback has been good. Our students are excited by the fact that these buses, have got USB charging ports enough for seated and standing passengers. And students and their gadgets, we don't want them to worry about that they can charge on the way. So to answer you, these buses have been well received. And to the point that we received request, it was really heartwarming to receive an email where people are requesting us to bid to as a university to convert minibus taxis to electric minibus taxis or buses. Obviously, this is not what we are working on, commercially, but I can tell you that from a teaching and learning point of view, one of the big bus companies in South Africa is going to give our Faculty of Engineering and the Built Environment 2 brand new buses. These are internal combustion engine buses so that the students and their professors can convert them to electric buses and then test them and see how those perform. So this, we are saving, we are using this for learning, and it's inspiring others to see that this can be done, and right here in South Africa. Remember, these buses are assembled here in South Africa, in Johannesburg.
Now, Professor Mpedi, you've talked about the USB ports, but there's also other little bits of technology that you've got in the buses, including CCTV, and I believe that you've also got stop buttons on the bus. Talk to us about this bit of the technology.
Yes, the buses have got CCTV for the driver to also see. Remember, they are also standing passengers. These buses ferry students between campuses, but they can stop in between. So students can use those stop buttons where they need to alight, and staff, by the way. And this is really an important thing, to see what's happening inside of the bus. But there are also other technologies that are important for such a product. For example, for detecting fire, and so on. And also less technologically advanced things such as curtains. If you are driving in this bus in the sun, our students and staff can pull those curtains and protect themselves against the sun, or not to be seen if they don't want to be seen. So there's a lot of technology. These buses they are really smooth, I can tell you that. They ride on air suspension, and those that are familiar with air suspension vehicles, you know that you don't feel the bumps. So really, this is a good product. And somebody asked us that perhaps we should put them on display one of these days for anybody who's curious to come and see. And as the Vice-Chancellor, I must speak to my COO and colleagues involved that maybe one day we can put this on display so that anybody who's curious can come and see this firsthand. Seeing, as they say, is believing.
Well, I have to ask, if you can't feel the bumps, can you feel the potholes, though?
No. At least when I took this bus for a spin, I didn't feel anything. But it doesn't mean that the city and the government should not take care of those potholes, because our buses are so nice that our passengers can't feel them.
Professor, appreciate your time this afternoon. Professor Letlhokwa Mpedi, Vice-Chancellor and Principal at UJ.